Hi everybody, thanks for gathering around the telescope around with me virtually, as I always say. Anyway, this video is about the weekly newsletter for Eadsy Astronomy for February 8th to February 14th. Was out last night, had a great 4 or 5 hours of observing and imaging, and the moon came up, and when the moon came up that kind of basically ended it, but we had some great views of Jupiter then and a few double stars, so it was a great night. Got a bunch of open clusters in, got Thor's helmets in, and got some good imaging on the sea star in. So very productive night. So this week, February 8th, we have a waning gibbous moon. It's the last day of the waning gibbous. It's at 55.2%. The next day on the 9th, we move into last quarter, and then every night after Monday, after last quarter, the moon will come up later and later in the night and be dimmer and dimmer as it begins to move through its waning crescent phase after that point. This week and next week are great nights for deep sky observing. You can get it in early. This is the last month you're going to be able to do that if you go through the daylight time change, which I do here in Utah. This month I can get out. I can be observing by sunsets at about 6 o'clock now, heading to about 6:15 in mid-February. It means I can be observing by 7. Next month we move to sunsets coming in March all the way to about 7:45 to 7:55 as we jump an hour ahead and the days begin to get longer. It means that if you're going to observe, you're going to get out later. I guess it's good if you're working. Now that I'm retired, I don't have to worry about that. But this is a great time to be able to get out, start observing by 7. You can be done by anywhere from 11 to 2 and be in and see a variety of seasonal constellations come in. We're basically seeing Leo come up. I have a post to do on Leo, which hopefully I can get to over the next few days, probably early next week. And Leo kind of signifies the end of winter, the hinting of spring coming. And so all that's out there right now. Lots to do out there. Comets out there right now. Remember to go to Skyhound Comet Chasing. The link's there for finder charts and information on each comet that's visible visually through binoculars or telescopes. Also, you can get comet information from Star Walk at this link. It's a pretty decent site. This week's comet scene is subtle rather than spectacular. Don't expect to get wowed by anything. Patient observers still have worthwhile targets. Comet C 2024 E1 Wirchos. It's been great in the southern hemisphere. I've seen some great shots coming out of there. It remains the best visual opportunity. It's hovering near about the ninth magnitude, and it's reachable with binoculars from dark skies as it approaches its mid-February closest pass to the Earth. Smaller telescopes can also track 24p Shumas and 88p Howell, while large aperture observers and imagers may want to chase the fainter periodic comets scattered through Cancer and Libra. These are the kind of comets that reward careful star hopping, dark skies, and a little persistence, the classic comet hunter experience, if that's what you're after. Here I have a quick table that I've copied. You can see Wirchos here in the north, Cetus, southern sky, binocular, small telescope. It's fading slowly, but improving placement for us northern observers as it approaches its February 17th Earth's closest pass. 24p Schumann, estimated about magnitude 10. It's best in the evening sky, kind of varies. Small telescope. Periodic comet still observable, though dimming after its January perihelion with the sun. 88p Howell, magnitude 11 to 12. Late night, pre-dawn regions is what you're going to look for there. 6 to 10 inch telescopes minimum for this one. Beginning several month visibility window through spring, so you'll be able to take a look at that. 235p linear. It's magnitude 13, bigger scope, 10 or 12 or better. It's in the constellation of Libra, slowly brightening towards spring peak brightness. And then, so you could actually find that and then begin to measure that brightness. You have 217p linear. It's in Cancer, magnitude 14. You need a large telescope for that, 16 or better, I would estimate. It's at magnitude 14. maybe even 18 to 20 or better. Very faint visual target, better for imaging attempts on this one right now. Here you can see I've put up the upcoming comet list. You can click on it and see the larger view of that. Lunar observing, the moon's transitioning from last quarter into the thinning, waning crescent this week. It makes for early morning ideal for those who enjoy dramatic low-angle lighting across rugged terrain. The last quarter phase occurs Monday, February 9th, like I've said, when the shadows are long and crater walls stand out at high contrast. It's perfect for telescope exploration at that time, but it's going to be come up a little bit later in the evening. Lunar observing this week means getting up early in the morning as the moon continues to rise later and later each night. February 8th through the 10th, you're looking at the last quarter window. It's a prime target for studying the western Maria and the battered southern highlands. Look for the crater chains near Clavis, the rugged rim of Tycho, and the fractured terrain surrounding Mar Humorin. With the terminator cutting across these regions, relief is at its best for looking at these spots. The 11th through 12th, you got a waning crescent begins. Illumination is going to drop below 30%. The moon rises later and later each night and becomes a morning object. It's an excellent opportunity to swoop the eastern limb. You can get up a little bit before work and maybe get some lunar observing in. Its lesser known craters and wrinkle ridges show striking shadow detail that often goes unnoticed during the brighter phases. February 13th through the 14th through Valentine's Day, thin crescent mornings. By Valentine's morning, the moon is a delicate crescent, only about 6 to 12% illuminated. It's offering a beautiful naked eye and binocular views just before sunrise. Earthshine should be visible under dark skies, softly revealing the moon's night side. When the moon's heading toward new moon on February 17th, deep sky observers, like I've mentioned, will enjoy increasingly dark evening skies, while lunar observers get one last week of dramatic waning phase landscapes before the cycle renews, kind of resets. Astronomical highlights: triple planet twilight gathering February 8th through the 10th. Shortly after sunset, Venus, Mercury, and Saturn cluster low in the western sky, offering a photogenic binocular target before they set. This is one of the earliest visible stages of February's broad planetary lineup, which will come later in the month, and that will continue, like I said, developing later this month. Jupiter dominates the evening sky as always right now. It remains the brightest planet visible most of the night, high in the eastern sky at dusk, and well placed for telescope observing of the cloud belts, the Galilean moons, and occasional shadow transits. Great imaging target right now. Waning moon mornings improve deep sky observing, like I've mentioned. It goes from last quarter into the thinning, waning crescent on the 14th. That means darker and darker skies each evening. Excellent conditions for galaxies, nebula, and winter clusters, leading toward the new moon dark sky window beginning mid-month. Alpha Centauri meteor shower will peak on February 8th. It's a modest meteor shower. It displays peak around February 8th. It produces about 6 meteors per hour under ideal dark skies. Northern observers may only see a few meteors very low in the southern sky, but southern observers, they're going to see the best activity on this. So if you're farther south, better opportunity for you. Of course, you have the winter constellations at prime viewing time. You got Orion, Taurus, Gemini, Canis Major. They all dominate the evening hours right now. Orion's belt easily guides the observer to bright stars like Sirius and Aldebaran, making this one of the best for showing newcomers the seasonal winter sky if you want to take somebody out with you. Best planetary viewing: Jupiter all night, Mercury, Venus, Saturn low at dusk. Meteor chance February 8, minor showers we talked about. Moons fading into last quarter to waning crescent, and that will improve dark sky observing. The best constellations I would say right now is Orion, Canis Major, Gemini, all those right now. So let's move into the solar system. Planets that are visible. Jupiter remains the headline object, probably will for about another month or two, probably for the next several months. It shines brightly in the evening hours and stays well placed for several hours after sunset. It's moved down a little bit from Castor and Pollux now in Gemini. Still in Gemini, just a little farther down. So look for a clear, unobstructed western horizon in the evening, and you can see Venus, Mercury, and Saturn as they begin to align as we go through the rest of the month until the end of the month, when we'll have a planetary alignment, kind of. Well, it will be, but just it's going to be really early in the evening to get it. As the moon moves toward its waning crescent phase this week, sights grow darker earlier each evening. As I mentioned at the beginning, take advantage of this if you have daylight savings time. February is the last month before we're moving into a later time to do that. Neptune is up. You can see it in the early evening. It's very low right now. Look in the western evening, low in the sky near the constellation of Pisces. There's the finder chart for it. Uranus remains well positioned right now in the evening sky for observing or imaging. It requires binoculars or a telescope, and you can see it high in the south in the constellation of Taurus, located between the Pleiades and Hyades star cluster. And here's two maps for it. Best viewing, just made a chart there. You can see Mercury after sunset, Venus after sunset, Saturn early evening twilight, Jupiter evening to all night. King of the planets is king of the sky right now when it comes to planets. Mars you can see before sunrise in the eastern morning sky. Uranus is an evening object. It's in the southern sky, Aries region. Neptune early evening, western evening sky, Pisces region. Naked eye objects, you got Jupiter, Venus, Mercury. We've got Orion, the hunter, the constellation. Betelgeuse is there, Rigel's there. It's a great opportunity to look at that. I've posted this for the last several weeks. We'll keep it going probably through the month of February. But you have the winter hexagon and triangle here that you can go after more on there. Pleiades is always great to look at. We were looking at it last night in my TelView MP101. You could actually see, Shane could see the blue nebula around the stars and within the nebula itself. It just showed beautifully. Jupiter and Venus headline the planetary show, while the Orion region and the winter triangle provide the best naked eye objects right now. Deep sky observing, what I've done is just made charts here. The first three charts are really basic objects. These are great if you're a beginner. M42, M45, the Pleiades, M44, the Beehive cluster is coming up, M41, the open cluster in Canis Major. All those are fantastic objects if you're just looking for something in a short window to get out and take a look at. Intermediate, beginning to intermediate really, M1, the Crab Nebula. Put an O3 filter on it and see if you can see anything within the shape itself, any filaments or any modeling or anything like that. NGC 2392, the Eskimo Nebula, is always great to look at. M35 and NG 2158, large open cluster, small open cluster right next to it. Beautiful pairing and wide field, great imaging target. The Christmas tree cluster, NGC 2264, it's a cluster and a nebula. Look at the cluster, put a filter on if you're observing, and look at the nebula there. And it has faint nebulosity under dark skies, so you do need to be in dark skies. Sorry, just a quick little interruption there by my grandson. My daughter and my son-in-law are sick, so they're kind of upstairs with us. And if he sneaks in, that's just fine with me. So anyway, I hope that's okay with you. Anyway, advanced observers, you have IC 443 Jellyfish Nebula. I'll be doing a post on that probably here in the next week. It was part of an observing report, and I'll be doing another separate report on that. IC 2024, the Flame Nebula. I imaged it last night in the Sea Star. Beautiful emission nebula. NGC 2174 SH2252. It's an emission nebula in Orion. It's large, faint nebula requiring dark skies and filtration. Usually O3. Try the UHC on that. And then you have a globular cluster. NGC 2419 is coming in. It's known as the Intergalactic Wanderer. It's in the constellation of Lynx. It's a remote faint globular, but it's a rewarding challenge object to go after. And it is a challenge object. It's not going to look like M13 or M4 or M22, any of those. It's going to be a faint, but see if you can find it, see if you can detect it, and see if you want to image it. Go ahead and give it a go. Recommended imaging targets for this week. Of course, you have the Orion Molecular Cloud, M42, the Horsehead and the Flame. Premier Winter Wildfield Imaging Region if you want to try to get all that in, or you can just focus on each object itself or do both. You have the Rosette Nebula, NGC 2237-39, and Monosaurus. It's a large hydrogen region, ideal for narrowband imaging. IC 405, the Flaming Star Nebula, is beautiful in Auriga. Strong contrast object for color and narrowband work if you're looking for that. And I actually imaged this last night on the Sea Star, M81 and 82. They actually came out really good. I'll be sharing that in the observing report when I get to that. Some challenging objects for intermediate and advanced observers. You have NGC 1999 Reflection Nebula in Orion. It's a small bright patch with a distinctive dark hole. Benefits from moderate aperture and good transparency. 1788 Reflection Nebula also in Orion. It's a faint comet-shaped glow requiring dark skies and careful averted vision with that one. 2022 Planetary Nebula in Orion. It's beautiful. I recommend you go there. It's small, has a high surface brightness disk. It takes magnification well and can show subtle structure with high magnification. IC 2149 is another planetary nebula in Auriga. It's tiny, but it's bright. Often it's mistaken for a star. It requires high power, high magnification here to confirm the disk shape. And as you bring magnification on it, you'll be able to tell that it's not just a star. Highly recommend that one. Able 426 Perseus is still up, so you can take a look at that galaxy cluster. A lot of faint galaxies visible in large apertures. That rewards deep objects. Advanced challenge targets. NGC 2261 Hubble's Variable Nebula. It's in Monosaurus. It's good for visual and imaging. It's a small comet-shaped nebula that changes brightness, and you can actually change and track that change in brightness over time if you observe it on a regular basis. Benefits from moderate to high magnification visually. Leo triplets up in the evening. I've mentioned that. I have a program coming out, Redness. We have one on Gemini and then one on Leo. M6566 NGC 3628, the hamburger. Beautiful for visual and imaging. Wide field. The galaxies take high magnification. I actually imaged 65 and 66 last night, sketched them. Just beautiful last night. 3628 as the hamburger is the challenge object. There's a dust lane visible, which I had last night, under dark skies with large aperture. Thor's helmet, imaged last night, sketched it last night. Just a beautiful object, haven't been there for a while. 03 was the best on it. Used the UHC, actually showed a little more of the structure. 03 just brought it out tremendously. So great object to go after. You have the Horsehead Nebula, which I'll be sharing in an observing post that I've done recently. I've imaged it, I've sketched it again. Large aperture helps here. You do need an H-beta filter here. And extremely difficult visually, even in good skies. Just if you need to be able to see the Flame Nebula, if you can see the flame, probably you can go after the Horsehead. I said this Jellyfish Nebula in Gemini is both a great visual and imaging target. It's very diffuse filaments, best with an O3 filter, UHC filter, in dark skies. The Witchhead Nebula, imaging is best on that. I've seen filaments of it visually. It always shows up better imaging. It's huge. It's extremely faint reflection nebula. Very difficult visually, except in exceptional conditions. I had outstanding transparency, outstanding steady skies, and the 17.5, like I said, could pick up some of the filaments there. The Sea Star picked it up. I need to image it a little bit longer to really bring out its shape. Able 21, the Medusa Nebula, planetary nebula in Gemini. It's a challenge object, very low surface brightness because it appears as a faint crescent, especially if you use O3 and UHC filters on it. It's a very wide field. It's really low surface brightness as a result of that. Good challenge object. And then, of course, I have Sirius B, the pup here. It's always great winter challenge object to go after. I've seen it twice now this winter. Just fun object to go after. Gone through, listed a whole bunch of double stars here. If you're into double stars and want to continue to chase after them, you have Castor, Rigel, Trapezium, Beta Monosaurus. My favorite, H3945, the Winter Albireo, great contrast double star. You have Almach, Gamma Andromeda. You got to see that early in the evening. Eta Cassiopeia, same thing. And then N Pupus, early evening on Pupus. It's fading pretty quick. News roundup. I'm not going to put it in the newsletter anymore. I'm doing that as a separate post, so I've linked to the one I did yesterday. There's the newsletter. I hope you found that helpful in some ways. I hope there's something in here that you go after and can use. Until then, clear skies, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks for gathering with me.